we can start. So thank you all for joining our February 21 release webinar again. For people who are here the first time, well, welcome. My name is Stefan. I'm joined by Lawrence, and together we are very proud and happy to present to you the highlights of the FinDock February release. Really exciting and big release for us with giving pages going GA. But in this session, we will go over the highlights of the release. We will talk through several of the bigger items, but please, feel free in case of questions to reach out to us. Before we delve into the details, the release is already in your sandboxes, which means that you already have access to everything that we will be showing and that we'll be talking about in this webinar. And it will go to your production environments on next Sunday. So not tomorrow, not this Sunday, but the week after, February the 21st. We have a special note on that, because we pushed last Sunday our packages to all the sandboxes, but due to technical exceptions, we were unable, unfortunately, to push the NPSP and Buckaroo packages for about half of the sandbox environments. So we are working now with Salesforce support to resolve this and to understand why this happened. In the meantime, if you for example, want to test or to validate certain of our changes for specifically the NPSP or the Buckaroo package, you can go to our installer and there you can install the latest package version manually, but we are not able to push those, unfortunately. We don't expect this to be a problem in the production release, and we expect this together with Salesforce to have this solved before next week. All right, now with the release, I think the thing we want to talk about, right, and the thing that we want to highlight most is FinDock giving pages going GA and being generally available to everybody. But beside that, we will also spend some time on talking about how we the finalized migration of all the PSP packages that we have and the improvements we made there. And there's a whole long list of bug fixes and minor enhancements that we'd like to highlight in future. But let's start with giving pages. So as you know, is before the summer, last year in summer, we launched 3 big functional pilots with the enhanced online payment experience, with a new API and the removal of the visual foresight guest user and the web hub coming to replace that. And then FinDock giving pages as a consumer of our own API, basically giving you out of the box donation pages. And then GoKartless for FinDock, where you can use GoKartless to collect your direct debits natively from Salesforce. Now, as you know, month over month, we are able to show you the status of these pilots. And I'm happy to tell you this is probably not the last time, but the one before that we have to show you this, because last release, the new API and the web hub went GA. This release, we are really proud to have giving pages going GA. And the release after in March, we expect and aim to launch our GoKartless for FinDock integration generally available. Now, if we talk about giving pages specifically, then it's good to realize that first thing to realize is that it's on top of our existing API, right? So all the capabilities that you have in FinDock giving pages, they are there for all FinDock customers, regardless of whether or not you use giving pages. Now, depending on the needs of your customer or of your organization, you have multiple ways to integrate with the FinDock, to integrate your websites and your touch points to FinDock. You can build your own integration and use our API to do that. A lot of our successful customers and partners have done that, obviously. You can leverage any of the existing partner integrations that are built on top of FinDock by partners. Usually those are paid subscriptions or a one-time fee where you get an out-of-the-box product that is integrated with the FinDock payment API. And now there is, for more the smaller organization or very typical use cases, there's FinDock giving pages. That's part of your FinDock subscription and of the FinDock product, and you're able to launch your own giving page directly on top of our API. Now, how does that work? It's relatively easy. No, it's very easy, I should say. So first you log into FinDock, and you can choose and create your own page by first choosing a template and then modifying the template with your content, and maybe you can make changes to the styling, obviously, in the page builder. Then secondly, you have to configure your donation form with your specific requirements. So you can fill in the amounts, you can pre-select if it's one time or, for example, a monthly donations. You can configure the right payment methods. Maybe when you're in the UK, you can choose to use to also ask for a gift aid declaration. You can create several impact narratives to highlight what you can do with the different donations amount, etc. And after you have configured that, you can simply hit the publish button in the builder. And then we will take your configuration and your styling, and we will compile it into a website, and we will do the maintenance and the uptime and the service of that. So we publish the page on the giving page, givingpage.org domain, where we do all the IT, the hosting and the running for you. And that means that you can collect the donations from your donors via this giving page URL, and also get real-time data insights into that in Salesforce, obviously. And we are very happy with that, to be honest. So we have been building this for a long time. We started, I think, Jorrit, our main developer on this, started 2 years ago in his holiday with tinkering with the first POC around FinDock giving pages. But we couldn't have built this without you and without your feedback. So thank you for that. So in July last year, we launched the first working version of giving pages in a closed pilot environment. And then in November, we moved to open beta with a finalized payment and donation form in it. And now we're moving to GA, where we focus mainly on helping you create beautiful donation pages in minutes. And obviously, we are not done yet, right? So now it's GA. It's same as the regular part of FinDock, where we, please share your feedback, your requirements, your concerns, etc. with us, because we want to iterate on this and bring this, and keep grinding out a better product. So thank you for your feedback so far. We couldn't have done this without you. That being said, now Lawrence will take over, and he will give an overview of everything that we have done so far with giving pages, and the demo, obviously, for what all has been built. Lawrence.
Thank you, Stefan. We've done a lot between our previous beta version and this general availability version. I won't cover everything. You can check out the details if you want in our release notes, but there are some things I would like to highlight. So we've done a few things. What we find really important is that it's easy for you to create something beautiful. So we've redesigned our page templates. It should also be easy for you to configure everything to your specific needs. So we've made the page builder a lot easier to use. We've redesigned also the thank you and error page and added some features like support for Google Analytics, IBAN validation, and other stuff. But the complete list is in the release notes if I don't touch upon it here. So what do we mean when we say we improve the look and feel? So we've created 2 new templates. As you can see, one of them on the left and one of them on the right. On the right, you see the new thank you page that we've created. And all these text, images, and colors can be adjusted to your liking. We do have some constraints, so we only allow you to have one brand color for the payment form, but basically everything else can be completely adjusted. Now, the second part of making it easy for you to build what you need faster is mainly in the builder. So what we've done is for basically every image or text or color, we've included an example. So here in the middle, you see an example image. It also tells you what the well, the most ideal resolution is, so you don't have to find it out yourself. We've created new tooltips to explain what each and every option does, added example values, we've improved the preview so it's easier to see what you've changed and what that looks like before you even publish it to your live environment. And we've added a page structure on the left to help you navigate the different components in the web page. If we think something is going to go wrong, we will now show you a bit more warnings, things you might be missing, or what you might want to add, or if you haven't saved something before you published. So I think that means that's demo time. Let me switch to my Salesforce. So basically in your FinDock setup, you will find a tab called FinDock Giving Pages. And this is included in each and every installation. There's nothing extra that needs to be done to enable this. And if you go to that tab, it's right here, and click the tile, you will end up in the Pages Manager. This is a clean installation, so we're going to do everything from scratch. And let's see how fast we can do that. But the first thing you need to have a web page is an actual domain to launch it on. And we help you with that. So you can simply click Add Domain here. And you can select a subdomain for a givingpage.org domain. So let's use my name here. So we are sure that it doesn't exist yet. And basically now, once you've created the domain, you can see you can start to create pages. Same thing here. We simply click Add Page, find a name. Let's save the wheels in this, with this donation form, and we've added our page. Basically, there's not really a page here now, right? Because we haven't really created anything, and we can do that through what we call the Pages Builder. Like Stefan said, we have two templates now. One called Activate, which is this one with the wheel with a very large banner at the top to make some impact. And another one with a image on the left, but which is very much more focused on the actual payment form. So there's no distractions. You can just jump in right away. Where in the Activate one, you have more room for text and other stuff. In this demo, I'll use the Activate template. So let's select that and create that in the background. So that's basically it. Now we have our page. Well, we could just publish this and then see what's happened. So I just published it. We can go there. And basically now you have an actual live page. Of course, it doesn't look great yet, right? Because there's the example images and the example text. But basically, this is real now. This is live. But let's start to make it our own. So for one, we would, of course, like to put the actual wheel image here. Now, like I said, we have the structure here on the right, and the wheel is the background of the section at the top. So we can simply click this section. It opens the settings on the right. As you can see, we have info text here for every single setting in the appearance. And let's remove this example image and add something nice. I already have my assets here from our designer, and also the text that we're going to be adding later. So that speeds this up a bit. Basically, the file gets uploaded to your Salesforce environment. We save it, and that's it. So now we have a nice looking wheel in the background. We'll do the same with the logo. This is an example logo. It tells you what size it should be. Let's replace it with the real thing. We'll save it, and this already looks a lot better. Let's see. Let's publish it, see what it looks like. Refresh the page, and we're just updated. We can do the same with colors and text. So basically here, there's an example text. Let's use something our technical writer made, which is much more activating. We can add this, save it, and publish it as well. Now, of course, the most important part of a donation page is the actual payment methods. And that's all in our payment form settings. You can choose basically everything that you see here. So for instance, if you would like to change this preset, we could change this to 80, save it, and now it's updated here. You can change the text as well. You can change your currency. You can change whether you see one time or monthly when you land on the page, basically everything that you'd like. You can also change the personal details that we ask for on the second page. Currently, we allow you to map these fields to your Salesforce environment. Let's say we want to add a newsletter and basically map it to a checkbox and make it visible on the page. We can just do it like this. And basically, it's also that easy for payment methods. We have a payment method section here. We can configure them. And basically, here you see all the payment methods configured in your environment. And let's just add, well, what do we want to add? Let's say Stripe credit card, Molly ideal, and I might also want direct debits with, let's say, GoKartless. Here at the bottom, you can configure certain things. Like for Molly, we might want to ask for the issuer, so we can skip the bank selection page, or we can add descriptions or everything that's basically a parameter in our API. This is also where we consume our own API, so you could build this yourself if you'd like. Let's save it, save our payment form, publish it, and now let's see if we can create a donation. Oh, that's also enable gift date for the UK. That's pretty nice. Okay, so publish, and now we go to the page again. So let's see. So you see everything is updated. Let's do a one-time credit card donation. It needs my details here. We can check or uncheck this checkbox. It's not required. We can choose to make it required. I didn't. We select credit card here. We could do gift date, but I'm not in the UK, so there's no point for me to select this. And now let's donate. Now, of course, we're redirected to Stripe now, where we can check out. You see the email address is already pre-filled. Let's put in the test details. I think this doesn't really matter what I choose here. Enable my card allowance. We pay. And if this is successful, we're directed to the thank you page. If not, to the error page. And you see, I'm using the embedded thank you page, which by default looks like this. But you could also redirect to a page of your own by just setting a URL. And that's basically it. And now if you look in Salesforce, we should have a new installment with all the data that we just passed. Let's check. This is not updated properly. Oh, it's filtered. Yeah, there we go. Here's our Stripe credit card donation with my name and a contact. It's set to collected. There's a date, there's a payment profile, and basically every single date that we need. Now, let's say you also want to attach a campaign to this. You could do this from the Pages builder as well, where in the payment form settings, you can basically select the campaign. Well, in this case, save the elephants, which is a bit weird with this page. But if this is set, it basically attaches all the donations to that specific campaign. And I think that's what I'd like to show you. And let's go back to Stefan.
Thanks, Lawrence. Thank you for demoing that. I think this is, you know, there's questions and we will go over them. Also, when you ask questions right in the Q&A, you know, we will answer them definitely for you. But please know that, yeah, there's a lot already possible, right? I think this is a really, really good product, and you can use this. You can use this already next to your normal regular API. So you could create a specific page for a specific event and use giving pages for that. Lawrence, could you maybe go to the Yeah, thank you. Next slide. So if you want to know more about giving pages, what it is, and also what it's not, right? Because we're not trying to cover every use case, obviously. The 25th of February, we will have at the end of the day, we will have a webinar, especially for integration partners, consultants, and Salesforce admins at our current customers, to give you a full overview of all the features, to do a hands-on training / demo of, extensive demo of 30 minutes, and go over the main benefits and the goals we have with the product. Because you are all at the webinar, you will receive a special invitation at that. But if you already want to register for that, then we will I've just posted the link to that webinar in the chat. So feel free to already register for the 25th of February, where we will do an in-depth session on pages, what it is not, and a hands-on demo. Oh, not hands-on, I think Peter says, but we will demo really, definitely. We will do a hands-on one, and we will show you how you can make different looking pages, etc. Thanks, Peter. If you're interested and want to share maybe in your organization about what is giving pages and what can it do for me as a fundraising organization, then we have written a blog about what a good donation form can do for your organization and why giving pages is a good fit for that. So on our website, there's a blog post outlining that. So feel free to share and to read that, obviously. And just to complete the circle, right? There's a lot of content now available to you around giving pages. So we've created a separate page on the FinDock product pages around giving pages. And also our docs would give you as an admin or as a partner a good insight in, okay, what are all the options? How do I configure certain things? For example, and then also the detailed ones, right? Do I want to show yes or no the decimals behind an amount, etc., etc. So please feel free to go to our product page, but also to the documentation as usual. All right. We are very happy with that, and thank you again for all the feedback that we got. But we did more in the last 5 weeks, and we also want to highlight that, obviously. So I'm also really happy to tell you that all the package. So as you know, with the release of our new compatible with the new API, and I'm really happy to share with you that I think my sound just changed. I'm really sorry if this is it still okay? Okay, thank you. I'm really happy to share with you that all packages have been migrated to be API v2 compatible. Last sprint we did RedSys and Checkout, and we also not only migrated them to the new API, but we also made them better. So when we would go to the overview slide of RedSys and Checkout, we would see that for Checkout we were integrated with what Checkout calls Checkout frames, and we've now moved that to Checkout hosted payment pages, with the advantage that it works very well. It's consistent with all our other integrations, and that means that Checkout.com packages is consistent with the other ones with regards to setting, authentication, and customer donor experience. And then for RedSys, we already supported RedSys, a Spanish-based payment service provider and payment network, but we supported it for recurring credit cards, but not via our API yet. And we have updated the RedSys integration to also be able to take in credit card donations via RedSys and the API. Really important benefit for our Spanish customers. Now, obviously, we spent a lot of time also on the minor feedback that we receive from our projects, from our customers who are live or considering to use FinDock. And we call this bucket always bugs and enhancements, and we try to listen to you every month and select the most important ones to work on. So please, again, feel free to share your comments and your thought processes around how you perceive FinDock. Now, in our release notes, we make these we make distinctions between the different packages. So that, for example, when you are not using NPSP and FinDock together, you cannot be impacted by the changes underneath the NPSP heading. When you're not using us with SEPA, then you cannot be impacted by those. Whereas when you use our SEPA package, then you maybe want to look at those specific bugs and enhancements. We won't go over them all, but I'd like to highlight to you that we've made several improvements to our recurring payment schedule, which is a very neat tool that helps you plan your payment schedules ahead. So you could, for example, say, I want to generate all the payment runs I'm going to do for the coming year. And you can use recurring payment schedules to help you plan that and take, for example, holiday days into account. Now, the other one I'd like to highlight is for SEPA is that we all know that Brexit happened, right? But it's still possible with the SEPA direct debit scheme to collect direct debits from UK bank accounts. So you collect Euro direct debits from a UK bank account. So if you're a European organization and you collect SEPA direct debits via our SEPA package, and in your donor system you have certain payment profiles from Great Britain, then please be aware that after the Brexit and this release, we need more information to be able to still do that. So we need a big code, and we needed a big code, and we need some address fields. Now, please refer to our docs what we need in order to help you create SEPA compliant files to collect euros from British bank account. This is an edge case, I'm aware, but for some organizations we have encountered, this is possible. Last but definitely not least, I'd like to highlight to you something about our V1 API, and which we call the classic online payment experience, right? With the visual force page, the API V1, and the notifications on the visual force side. Now, as you may be aware, if you have already implemented FinDock quite some time, with the classic online payment experience, there's this redirect page in the middle, right? And that's the page that makes a call out to the payment service provider in some cases. Now, for both Buckaroo and the Molly integration, we found out that if you would refresh that page, that would lead to multiple transactions on, for example, the Buckaroo side, and that would lead to very weird state updates in Salesforce, because you would have one installment and then multiple transactions in Buckaroo or Molly, and then they would all send different notifications, and you ended up in very confusing situations. And we have addressed that specifically for the Buckaroo and Molly integration, where when you would now refresh that page in the middle, right at the right time, we don't create a second transaction at Buckaroo or Molly, but we reuse the first one in order to prevent this. So a quality of life enhancement, I think, for some of our older or longer running customers. Please be aware, obviously, that all these issues are avoided immediately by using our latest long-time support API with API v2. And that concludes, I think, what we'd like to highlight from our release. But please go to our doc site and go review the release notes for specific questions. And if you don't have the sufficient information, let us know, and we are able to help you out. And we'd like to ask a favor of you as well. As you know, we started uploading these webinars to our YouTube channel, but on our YouTube channel, there's also other videos highlighting, doing short demos and product highlights, or there's some conferences or other talks that we have given in the past that are uploaded there. And if you want to help us, you can do that by visiting our YouTube channel and maybe subscribe to it if you'd like to stay in touch with the updates that we make there. when we get 100 subscribers, I'm being told we could create our own FinDock YouTube URL, which is obviously a milestone we'd like to achieve. So please find us on YouTube and subscribe if you like. That being said, we will thank you for joining. I hope you all will have a wonderful weekend. And we will stick around and answer the questions asked in the chat. And hope to see you next time again. Thanks.